we do have leaders within our organization. When you think of a leader, a lot of times you think of just one person. We have teacher leaders. I work with a group of teachers, superintendent teacher advisory council. That's teacher leaders coming up here and talking about the leadership that they can work in their own schools. We have a class. Dr. Bryant works and Dr. King through their great work with teachers who were thinking about getting into administration. So we're going ahead and starting to work with those. We meet with our assistant principals, working with them on professional development and deal with their growth to basically, hopefully, they'll become principals one day. And here, as superintendent, is my goal for my leadership team to work with them, because to be honest with you, 36 years, I don't know how many more years I have in this business. But I'd love for one of those that's sitting around that table just to take it over, just because it's they know what's happening in education, and more importantly, they know Henderson County. And so I think it's great for an organization to have leadership work within that organization, and to work with even our children right now with Leader in Me. What a great way. We're developing leaders in kindergarten age. I walked into a classroom and was greeted at the door, and the kindergartners stuck their hand out and welcome to Fletcher Elementary School. How great is that? How great is that of teaching our just kindergartners about leadership? But I think it's so important for an organization to work with people within that organization to be able to, when positions come available, to promote from within, to move them up, because they understand the organization.
The assistant superintendent for instructional services and myself did some research at one point where Fortune 500 companies have deliberate and direct programs by which you identify people within your own organization and even outside your organization who you believe have the potential or competencies and skill sets to do the work you're currently doing. To identify those people and begin mentoring and bringing them along in order that there might be a readiness and a pipeline. That sort of evolved to exactly what you heard Mr. Caldwell say, this aspiring administrator program that we developed within our own school system so that you can begin to cultivate readiness for whatever those future jobs are. And that can feel a little weird initially in an organization to sort of reflect on what your current job is and then sort of say, who can I bring along? But that is the goal. That rather than seeing it as a threat to the work that you're doing or otherwise, saying like the long-term health of the organization depends on someone that the day I leave, the day he leaves, the day the group that currently sits around this leadership table leaves, because that will happen at some point for any number of reasons. You want to understand what's needed in order to continue the work that's been done and to lead it forward, but also to know that there's been very concerted and deliberate effort to grow those folks. And again, I think that succession planning is one of those things that leaders can't hope just happens. We joke all the time, like, hope is not a strategy. Like that is not a plan. You know what I mean? That's just a disposition. So you have to be thoughtful and purposeful and identify people, because there is an awesome opportunity that usually comes from telling someone you believe in their potential to do something greater than they've already done. You talked about motivation earlier today. Like what pulls you along is somebody who looks you in the eye and says, you know what? I believe you can do more than you're doing right now. And I'm not going to just tell you I believe in you. I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to invest energy and time and resources and training or otherwise mentorship so that you have a readiness for when opportunity like that presents itself, whether it be within your own system or elsewhere, so that you have success. I mean, succession is all about making sure that there are successful transitions among the positions of leadership and influence in your organization.
And every organization needs growth. You've got to work with as far as professional development, you have to work with your group and grow. I mean, I hear all the time, if you're not growing, you're dying. And so therefore, we want all of our staff to continue, I think, through the Dr. King and her work. Just we had 2 days of intense workshops and development for our teachers to grow in their skills as teaching. And you've got to be able to provide those opportunities for your staff to help them grow. Because once again, if everyone in the organization is not growing, your organization is not going to go anywhere. So we truly work hard to grow every person that we possibly can in our organization because growth is so important.